I think one person we'll start with is a person who is the oldest person here. I'm sure of that. And this is Marjorie Mock. She was married to Ralph Harris, who's one of George Washington's sons. So we'll start with Marjorie.
Well, I think that Don Robinson deserves a great deal of credit for the magnificent way that he has handled the arrangements of this affair. And I make the motion that we give him a round of applause for that. In one of his letters, he asked me where I met Frank. Well, I met Frank after Ralph and I were married. Frank never was married. He was a deaf mute, and he used to come to visit us. And we had to talk with the sign language to Frank. We asked him if he would have anything more to eat, and he'd do this. Ralph was one of the nicest persons. He was beautiful. I have written a poem to him. Would you like to hear that poem? I never let you know, I guess, how much you meant to me. What you left behind you has left life easier for me. Even your death did not deprive me of the memory of your face. You never promised anything that didn't really take place. Things were always better than you said that they would be. And as I said before, what you left behind has made life easier for me. Very good.
I'll let you handle it from there.
I'm Steve Harris. I don't have poems as beautiful as that to give, but I'm the son of Harold William Harris. I guess I'm the great-great-grandson of Jeremiah Harris, so I'm finding out here. I'm here today with my wife, Josie, our son, Ryan, our daughter, Alicia, and our other son, Jeff. And we live in Oakville, Ontario, which is near Toronto. We drove down last night, so we're glad to be here and glad to meet everybody that we haven't seen for a while, or some ever. We've never seen them.
Being married into the family, it's kind of fun to see everybody that's here, and I'm just glad to see all these faces. Some of them I may see again, some of them I don't, but it's nice to have met you all.
I am May Armitage, and my dad was William Harris, and his dad was George Washington. And I have 3 of my children here. My daughter Kathy from Ottawa, and my son Russell from Ottawa, and my son Barry from Montreal. It's a great pleasure to be here, and many thanks to Don for such a wonderful party.
Okay. Basically repeat the same thing. Kathy Davies from Ottawa, daughter of May Armitage, who was the daughter of William Harris, and grandfather was George Washington. And unfortunately my family didn't.
We're going to this table.
Yeah. I'm Russ Armitage. My mother is May Armitage. I'm here with my brother Barry from Virginia. And I'm from Ottawa, Canada.
too.
You're Harris.
I'm Cindy Denwood, and I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I'm the daughter of William Harris, sister of Stephen Harris, and my brother Richard Harris down at the back. And I'm very happy to be here. I was here 2 years ago with my daughter. Unfortunately, my family couldn't come with me, but maybe next time. Thank you.
I'm Barry Armitage. I'm here with my mother, May Armitage, and my brother Russell is also here, and my sister Catherine. And we are descendants of the William Armitage, great-grandfather being Harris. Excuse me. And I'm pleased to be here. Thank you.
Look into the camera now.
I'm James Harris. I'm the son of Lawrence Russell. Excuse me. Which was the son of Leander Cadwell. And this is my wife, Geraldine. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carol Richmond. I'm here with my husband Ed and son Jason, and I'm Jim's sister. And my father was Lawrence, and his father was Leander. And I'm glad to be here.
Stand up, Ed.
Camera shot.
I'm Vera Harris Gladding, and at my home we had the first meeting, and Jack Harrigan was sitting down there with the instigator of all this coming up. This is my family, Judith and her friend, my son Brian, Peter, my granddaughter, Ginny Lou, and her family, Bri, Nikki, and Brian, her husband, and they're off to Dallas, Texas, taking a plane out of Boston at 5 o'clock. So they're in a hurry. And her friend, Judy's friend, Frank. And I hope we all get together again very soon.
Okay, you can't go to Texas, so you got to speak too. You can't let your grandmother do all the talking.
Your turn. What was it?
I'm sure you're glad your daughter, Vera. It's nice to be here.
I'm a friend of pretty face Judy here. I came here for the turkey dinner.
My name is Pete Gladding, son of Vera Gladding. My mother said it all.
And I'm Jenny LeBlanc, and I'm granddaughter to Vera Gladding. My mom was my oldest, grandma's oldest daughter, Virginia. And I just want to thank Donald for the newsletters and all his wonderful, wonderful work that you've done, Donald. Thanks. And this is my son, Brian, and I'm sure that they will not get up no matter what I do. And Nicole, and Brian, who is with, thanks.
Well,
I was thrilled when I found Donald and Sarah. Fortunately, we had a family Bible, and my father, Leander, had recorded all births and all deaths. Now, Leander was a brother of George Washington Harris, and their father was Jeremiah. And Jeremiah was married to Harriet Lampkin, as you know. And I am named, actually, Harriet Lillian. I was named after my grandmother. Pardon me. And when I received Don's letter with Jeremiah Harris and Harriet Lampkin, I almost went through the ceiling, because they were my grandparents. So,
here's the family listed. These are my nephews. Ronald Harris of Syracuse and his wife Glenda. William of Syracuse and his wife Peg, Margaret. And Marcia Harris, who is the wife of Gordon Harris of Framingham, Massachusetts. These are all sons of my brothers. I like a story that I hear a friend say. She likes to give a speech that's long enough to be interesting. It's like women's dresses, long enough to be interesting and short enough to cover the subject.
Okay. Well, shall we introduce Francine here? Introduce yourself.
I'll introduce myself. I am Frances Black, and I'm Aunt Lillian's niece, and her husband and my father were brothers, so therefore I'm still my aunt's niece. And it's nice to be in Syracuse, and I thank you very much for including me today. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, seeing as how I'm almost the oldest. Right, Jim? Right. My name is Gordon Harris. I am, who am I? Yeah. Watch that now, Aunt Lillian. I am the son of Harrison, who was the first one of Leander. Is that right? Right. Okay. I am very happy to be here, and there's some of these people, like I was telling my good cousins over there, that the last time I was around, the last time I saw them was when my mother and I came down to visit my aunt in Worcester from, we lived in Winnipeg at the time. We came down in 1936. She says, how can you remember back that far? I don't know, but it just, you were beautiful then, you're beautiful now, so. But anyhow, my wife, Marcia, and I, we live in Framingham, and we had 2 kids, and we have 5 grandchildren, and my wife, my aunt says, sit down. Okay.
Bill?
Well, I'm another William Harris, Leander's grandson, and I was overjoyed when I heard from Aunt Lillian telling about Don's letter, and I'm very happy to meet so many new cousins.
I'm Ryan Harris, William Henry's son, and I'm here with my wife Glenn, and we're glad to be here.
I'd like to say it's a pleasure to be here, and it's also a pleasure to be married to her.
Okay, we'll go to this table here then. Now, there's a special person I'd like to start off with on this table. And this is a person that I got to know a couple of years ago now. She lives in Northampton, and she's another one of these very, very sharp young ladies. She is the daughter of Edgar Harris, another son of George Washington, and she lives close by, and we've had many good discussions. I've been to her apartment, and we have found each other. And in fact, I'm talking about Dorothy McCallum. She was the one that helped me, along with Marcia Harris, decide on this location for the reunion. So with that, Dorothy, please introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your Harris connection.
I should have been given a little warning about this. Well, I'm the daughter of Edgar Harris, who was the son of George W. Harris, and I can't go back very far. My memory isn't quite as good as it used to be. And getting up to speech is a little foreign to me now, since I was teaching once, didn't mind it, I do now. But it's wonderful to be here and meet all the people here and all the new people that I hadn't met before. Thank you.
This is the first time I ever discovered I was related to George Washington. My name's Ralph Burt. We come down through the Lillian chain out of George Washington's side. Lillian married Charles Burt, who was my grandfather, and they had a son and a daughter. The son was named Ralph Burt, who was my father, who married Lucille Matthews, sitting right here. And this is my wife, Joan, my sister, Betty. Her name is Burt, Betty Burt, and Jerry Belanger is her husband, so her name now is Jerry, Betty Belanger. Too many names.
Lucille, you'd like to say a few words?
Well, I'm just glad to be here. Thank you very much.
Okay, very good. Betty, you've got a few words.
We might not be able to shut me up. No, I just wanted to say that it's glad to be here and I meet everybody that I know I've met quite a few of you, but my mind, right? Which way do you want to? Oh. And that's about it. Glad to meet everybody and it's been a joy. Thank you.
Okay, Faith. This is my sister, Faith.
No, that's what I was going to
Okay,
say.
go ahead.
What can I say? This is my brother Donald. I am Ethel Harris, Harris's daughter, who was Sumner Harris's daughter. And it's my Aunt Vera over there, lots of relatives. I just must say, though, that I know my brother's worked very, very hard on this. I know he gets excited about a lot of things, but I have never, ever seen him so excited about tracing back the genealogy and finding all these, quote, lost relatives. And I'm very, very impressed with all the work he's done. But he's also gotten a lot of pleasure out of it, too. And this is my husband, Richard Borden.
All right, we'll move on to the... Okay, here we go.
My name is Richard Harris. I'm here with my parents, Jenny and Bill Harris, from Toronto, Canada. Dad's asked me to speak on behalf of him because he can't find the words sometimes, but he is the son of a William Harris from George Washington. Grew up in Renfrew, Ontario, married his wife in Montreal, Canada, and now lives in Toronto, and he's very pleased to be here, as we all are. I'm here, well, we're all here, my sister Cindy and my brother Steve's down there too, and their families, and it's been a great time. Great part of the country too.
Thank you. Okay. Hey.
I'm Jenny Harris. I'm Bill's wife. I'm very happy to be here. And I'm enjoying company a great deal.
My name is Janet McCarthy Trippy. I am the great-granddaughter of Stephen Walter Harris. And I'm here with parts of my family. Very glad to be here. Thank you.
I'm John McCarthy, Janet's brother. I'm here with my mother and my aunt and my wife. And we are descendants from the Leander Harris side, who was my great-great-grandfather. Very happy to be here and meet you people today.
I'm Marjorie Harris Lassie, and my father was Stephen Walter Harris, son of Leander. And I'm here with my sister and my Aunt Lillian. I'm happy to see you again from Syracuse, Pauline Burrell. Pleasure to meet you all.
I'm Dorothy Harris, Stephen Walter's daughter. Here with my daughter-in-law, my son, and my sister.
And I think this reunion is a marvelous idea. I hope we can do it again. Thank you very much, Ann Robinson.
It's the last table here. Now, in this table, again, we're going to start with an introduction from a special lady, and it isn't my wife, and it isn't my mother. This special lady is another person that I found that only lives about 10 miles from me. And her name is Marcia Harris. And Marcia has been very, very helpful. All of you who made out a check to Marcia Harris, this is the person you made the check out to. So with that, Marcia, say a few words to us.
Well, like all of the rest of you, I wanted to say thank you to Don, and I'm glad that he discovered me. I was married to William Harris, William Morton Harris, who was a son of Morton Harris, the son of George Washington. And I also have a son, and his name is William Harris. His name is William Scott Harris. And he would have liked to have been here, but he is currently living in Hawaii, and this is his busy season, so he couldn't make it. All I can say is I was married for only a few years when my husband was in an accident and died, but it was one of the happiest times of my life, and I'm very, very glad to be here.
Jack.
Hi. I'm Jack Harrigan, eldest son of Marjorie Linwood Harris, eldest daughter of Sumner and Lillian Harris. Those of us that knew this gentleman Sumner had the privilege of calling him Pa. Those of us here have a very, very warm feeling in calling that gentleman Pa. Great guy. I've been accused of initiating these things, and if so, I'll accept that. And I like to see it continue for many, many years to come. As a matter of fact, I have some very deep business, financial business to discuss with Donald to be sure that this type of thing continues over the years. I'm so happy that you're all here. Good luck to y'all.
This is my mother. I got my height from her.
Now that I've been embarrassed entirely by my son Donald, who is so smart, and I think he gets it from his father, really. Anyway, I'm Ethel Deso, and I'm the daughter of that Pa that Jack spoke about, which I am very proud that he was my father. I remember him with very great honor and warm memories. I also am very happy I have a mother who loved us all too. Lillian. My son Larry is here, as well as Donald, of course, and Faith, who is sitting over there, who has already been introduced. And I'm very happy that you all could come, and I am very proud of what Donald's done.
My name is Larry Kites, and son of Ethel, and grandson of Sumner Harris, Grandpa, we call him. I have few memories of Grandpa, because I was so young when he passed away, but a lot of memories of Grandma Harris, Lillian Harris. She was a really nice great-grandmother, and we really miss her, for sure. This is my wife, Susan Kites. This is my son, William Kites. And we have another one on the way, doing Narch.
Okay, well, I'll introduce my lady. This is Sarah, and she has threatened to divorce me over this reunion. I spend many of an hour on the computer. All of the information that I have, just about all of it, is now computerized, and I'd spend a lot of time down in the hole with the computer. And I took a lot of ribbing for that. And she has, the reason you have these napkins instead of the white napkins is my wife's choice. I had white. There was something else she did. What was the other? Sarah, say a few words.
Well, it's symbolic that we're in this room with all the horses. Not only that I love horses, but you have to have reins when you deal with a horse. And my rein is I don't give him any support. None whatsoever in this research. Because if I gave him support, can you imagine what would happen? Oh my goodness. So I don't give him any support and I just pull back on the reins and he still does this. But I'm proud of him and I'll keep him. I have to introduce the cameraman to you, and so I'll take over the camera and let Paul say a few words.
Say it, babe.
Is the green light on? Here's Paul.
Paul Sumner Robinson, son of Donald, who has his computer in my hole and keeps me awake up to 2 o'clock in the morning. He says, go to sleep, but I can't. So, take that back, Mom.
While the dessert is being served and the places are being cleared, I'll just keep on talking about a few of the items I think we should discuss as a group. First of all, an event occurred about 150 years ago. In fact, 150 years ago last month that resulted in all of us being here, just about all of us. And that was that a fellow named Jeremiah and a gal named Harrietta Lampkins got married. They got married in Plattsburgh, New York. And that, I found the date. It took a lot of digging. We found the date on some pension records. They had another son. His name was William. William was in the Civil War, the same as George Washington was in the Civil War. And you're able to get Civil War records from the National Archives. And I sent away, and I have some of the records over here. And contained in those records, particularly in the pension records, are information about families that applied for pensions of Civil War veterans. And Harriet Lampkins Harris applied for the pension from her son, who died at age 25. He died of, we're talking consumption, which is really TB. He died of TB at age 25, but it was a war-connected disease. And I'm sorry to report to you that Jeremiah and Harrietta did not leave any lost fortune. They were, from what I can gather, they were not very rich people. In fact, from what I can find, they never owned real estate. And they, apparently William, who was in the Civil War, would send money home to his parents. And when she applied for this pension, she had to also submit the envelopes that he sent home and letters that he sent home as evidence that he was providing some support to his parents. And based on that, she was able to get a grand total of about $12 a month in pension. After she died, now she died in 1891, and the letter of administration that's in the surrogate court in Plattsburgh was filed after her death by and signed by Jeremiah, which I have a copy of, and I've given copies of it to some people here, indicated that she had left her estate to basically Jeremiah and to her living relatives, her sons, and also to the son of her deceased daughter, Mary. Now, Mary who was a sister to Leander, and George Washington died at 25 years old. I have a stone, a rubbing of her gravestone taken from this Saranac House. Mary Harris. It did not refer to Dustin. So it's still a big mystery to me what happened to Rufo Dustin, and hopefully in years to come we'll be able to answer that, and maybe there'll be another contingent of people here, descendants of Rufo Dustin. Beyond Mary, there's no one else on the Jeremiah line that I'm aware of that had any children. The other kids of Jeremiah either died very young, or they did not have any children. Therefore, if we find anything about Rufo, if anybody else wants to start digging as well, you're welcome to it. I'll give you as much information as I have. I'd appreciate any help from anyone. But going back to this pension, after Harriet died in 1891, Jeremiah applied for his son William's pension. And those records are here as well. He outlived his wife, and I do not know when he died, and I do not know where he's buried. I do know when the pension was cut off, so I do know about when he died. But I'm hoping to go back and find information about his marriage, which I should be able to find through Albany. But I do not know who Jeremiah's parents were. If anyone here knows, I'd really be excited to find out. I do not know who his wife's parents were, Harriet Lampkins. We've got some Lampkins connections we're also trying to track down, but that's about it. Jack?
A lot of advantages to being 91.
Right.
You look great.
Are you coming? She says, well, I don't think I have a ride. Well, I said, well, be somebody there between 9 and 10 o'clock to pick you up. And then I called my mother up. I said, Ma, what are you doing on Saturday morning between 9 and 10 o'clock? So she came with my mother.
What an organizer.
Yeah.
No, you're all right. Don't move.
I didn't used to have to worry about having a ride because I married a railroad man, you know. And we had a railroad pass. And this is an amusing thing that happened when one time I used to have a gift shop in Williamstown, and I had to go down to Boston or New York for gift shows, you know, to buy things. So I was going down to Boston, and we were Ralph and I were standing on the platform there, waiting for the train to come in. We were talking with the ticket agent, and the train came in, and the ticket agent says, "Oh, the train is starting, and you're not on there." So he says, "I'll go in and call the engineer." So he went in his office, called the engineer. They stopped the train at the first crossing. He got me into his car, drove me down there, and I climbed up onto the train, and slid into the back seat. Everybody was turning around to see who this very important person was. They stopped the train for. And I handed the conductor my railroad pass. In railroad parlance, I was a deadhead. I hadn't even paid for my ticket. Oh. Well, let's see what this is.
She wrapped it good.
Well, Harris reunion.
Oh, isn't
Oh, thank you very much, whoever made it.
Tina made it.
Tina Robinson made that.
Thank you for
Traveled the furthest way.
the furthest.
Furthest. Wait a minute. Let's practice English here.
Furthest. Furthest.
Farthest.
That's the Harrison.
That's the English.
Engineering, not English. Okay. So who traveled over 2,000 miles?
They're gone. They're gone.
They had to be back in Boston.
Gotta be here.
They're in Texas. They're in Texas now.
Let's see, how about 1,000 miles?
Yeah, Finnywood and Bryan.
5,000. Well, come on up here. Come on up here.
Where'd you come from?
California. Hawaii.
Hawaii?
I'd like to know how. Okay.
Yeah.
Must be good, Jack.
We're crying now.
Yeah, hold her up, hold her up.
Somebody put your money in.
T-shirt.
Okay, read what it says.
Oh, look at
What?
Cash out.
Reunion, yeah, 1988.
There we go, Jack.
Wait. Jack.
Yep.
Over here.
Come back. Come back.
This is for the youngest person here.
Over there. Right there.
Okay,
Right
William.
there he is.
Gonna come with your mom or dad? Right here, William. You have to open this up. You open it? Can you open this up?
Look at
No? Try it. I'll help you.
Oh, yes, thank you.
That's cute.
He's got one like Jack that's shrunk down. All right, up we go.
What's the matter?
What's Uncle John doing here, huh?
We haven't been in practice lately, Donald.
Thank goodness.
Did you get a picture? You down, baby.
Okay, come on.
He brought back a sword of Southerner, and that always hung in my grandfather's house in a very cherished position. But then they found out who the Southerner was and sent it back to the family.
Do you have any idea?
As far as I know, nobody knows.
How did he come in possession of this?
Well, I suppose it probably was, at time of surrender, it probably went to him. Yeah.
The story in our family was Uncle Wash.
Yeah, Wash. They always called him. My grandmother never called him anything but Wash.
He said that he was in the battle of Richmond and the sword.
I was in Canada for a while.
The sword to Richmond. But I know he was.
Well, I never knew that, which place it was. Ralph was Harris. And my father was interested up to a point, but he didn't go into family history as much as I'm interested in it.
Well, that's always fascinating.
But I guess yes, I think I'm glad you told me that.
And my father was according to what Dan found out, that he had been in a band with Petersburg.
Oh, he was in quite a while fighting, but they tell me he never got wounded. I think I heard that.
I don't know.
According to this history, when he had been taken captive and escaped, he was escaping North Carolina, and the colored people helped him to find the line, the Union line.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Well, your address is in Don's mailing list, isn't it?
Right.
He has noticed, he sent me some information. I'll make a copy and send it to you. You'll find it real interesting.
Do you want me to give it to you now, or can you get it?
I'll look it up.
All right. It's 81 Con Street. It isn't hard to remember.
You'll really enjoy it. I find it very thrilling.
And you?
I find it very thrilling.
Oh, yes. I think it's very interesting.
Unbelievable courage that this man must have had to do this.
He loved to fight, apparently. They said he went and fought some of the Indians after. He hadn't had enough fighting. I don't approve of fighting Indians, but even so. Because I'm already Indian. Right, now you're William.
Everybody from the other side. From Leander.
From Leander's. Well, I'd love to hear from you.
Okay.
And be sure you put your address on it and
Sure
so
will.
forth. Okay, thanks so much for telling me. 1, 2, 3. We've been here.
Now what do we have here? We have the depleted Harris family.
Yeah. Getting shorter and shorter.
Ron, could you sing the American National Anthem over there by the American flag?
Could we do
Come on, Ron.
Yeah, there's too many of them left around here. Oh, getting short.
Down to the end. Hello there, Lucille. Well, Vera, what are your final words?
We've had a wonderful time. It's been great. We do it again 2 years from now.
All right.
Canada.
Canada. Here we go to Canada. All right. We'll get our money out. Hope the exchange rate's good favorable for us.
Yes.
Right.
Have a bang up time.
Yeah. And Donald's still standing. Still talking.
Lillian Burke. Which is
Lillian here, right here. That's my grandmother.
Is that Lillian?
Which one is
And that. My family or father and mother referred to her as Lily all the time.
Lily?
Lily Burke.
This is Sumner right here.
Yeah, but how can you keep them that long?
Not enough room. That's what my husband said.
And years ago they were all wool.
Right. I don't want
No, don't you?
Oh, they're still mad.
It's too bad.